Korea is often overshadowed by news about Kim Jong-un, but there's more to it. Discover unique aspects of Korea, from midnight study sessions to eating live octopus. Here are 7 exclusive experiences found only in Korea. Number 7. Korean barbecue. Dining with a group can sometimes be challenging. Well, you can all order separate dishes you can't help, but pore over the group menus and wonder whether it would be a logistical nightmare to order a meal designed to feed 4 to 6 people or even more. Will it really feed that many people? Will some people go hungry? Well, that's usually not the case with Korean barbecue, a popular dining option in Korea and now in many other parts of the world like the United States. The main event of any barbecue is, of course, the meat, and Korea goes all out. There's gobi and bulgogi beef, which is usually short ribs and finley, sliced rib eye brisket or sirloin. You also get to enjoy doja bulgogi pork bulldog chicken, also known as fire chicken with a spicy sweet sauce, and ssamjang sauce that you pair with absolutely everything from seafood to meat to vegetables, and everything in between. Most Korean barbecues also come with lettuce and perilla leaves that you use to wrap your meat. After all, you don't want to get your hands dirty. And what meat dishes finished without garnishes? You'll generally find no shortage of green Korean chilies, scallions, garlic, clove, and toasted sesame seeds. Finally, the side dishes, once you've had your fill of meat, you can tuck into pickled and fermented vegetables and rice, followed by beverages like wine, beer, soju, and makgeolli. Number 6. Matching clothes for couples. You would not want to be single and lonely in South Korea, that's for sure. You'd be surrounded by love, with bragging being the done thing when it comes to couples in love. When you're in a relationship in South Korea, you typically celebrate your relationship at least 3 times a year. Post often about all the coupley things you've been up to on social media and take monthly romantic holidays. It's also not uncommon for couples to wear matching clothing. This is a trend kicking off in South Korea, but it's yet to take off elsewhere. Many clothing stores now offer his and her garments with complementary colors and styles, or completely identical gender-neutral outfits like overalls. Couples will even make a point of wearing matching shoes. The goal is to show people that you're an in-love couple who does everything together. Would you wear matching clothing with your significant other? Number 5. High schoolers studying until midnight. Education is a big deal in many countries, but South Korea probably takes the top spot regarding work ethic and how hard students work. South Korea has always had some of the highest achievers, but at what cost? Students are burning the candle at both ends. Many students will rise at 6:30 a.m. and possibly even earlier to get to school for classes at 8 o'clock a.m. School will then finish at 4 or 5 o'clock p.m. For many students, though that's not the end of the school day, they will then set off to a second school for private lessons, typically from 6 o'clock p.m. until 9 o'clock p.m. There will then be another 2 hours of self-study at school before some students finally arrive at home at 11 o'clock p.m. They might enjoy food, a shower, time to unwind, head off to bed after midnight, then rise again at 6:30 a.m. before doing it all again. According to many sources, South Korean parents often spend thousands of dollars on after-school tuition and private schooling above and beyond a full day of public school. It's believed that because Korea has few natural resources, its resources are its people. If you want to be successful, you have to stand out, which can require hard work and dedication. Number 4. They don't really eat dogs. Most of us could never look at our dogs and imagine eating them. It's just unthinkable. But dogs used to form a massive part of South Korean cuisine. I'd be among the first to shed a tear for any dog killed for its meat. But it's essential to realize that every country has a different culture, and in many countries eating dogs is seen as no more morally wrong than eating chicken, pork, or beef. Some cultures view dog meat as an essential part of their tradition and culture, but do people in South Korea really eat dogs? Oh, it's not as popular as you might think. So, yes, people in South Korea have eaten dogs for centuries, but it seems that views and preferences are changing. According to an International Humane Society poll from 2020, most respondents said they had never eaten dog meat. You might also struggle to find a restaurant that would serve it on the menu. At least 60% of survey respondents also said they would want dog meat banned, which might soon be the reality. Right now, dog meat consumption is in a bit of a grey area. It's not illegal, but it's also not legal. However, at the end of 2021, the South Korean government said they were considering outlawing dog meat consumption. Number 3. There are plenty of public restrooms. South Korea might lack public trash receptacles, but they certainly don't lack public restrooms, and clean ones at that. Ask any visitor, and they'll tell you that South Korea has some of the most sanitary public toilets in the world, even compared to the United States and Western Europe, and you won't have any trouble finding one. Public bathrooms are everywhere you look and are by no means basic or ordinary. Most of them are not only ultra clean, but they're packed full of features for convenience and comfort, such as warm air dryers, heated toilet seats, and even the days to clean your bottom. You might even find some playing classical music so that you can have a relaxing time peeing. Even families are well catered for with special seats to strap children into, and miniature toilets for little kids who might not be large enough for traditional toilets quite yet. If you're self-conscious about your bowel movements, you might even be able to find a toilet that lets you play a rushing sound to mask the sound your own body makes. The only thing you might struggle with as a non-Korean reading visitor is how to use the toilets. Some of them are so advanced with so many buttons that finding the simple flush button can be challenging. Number 2. Workaholism is a big deal. South Korea is a workaholic society. It's not uncommon for people to work upwards of 60 hours a week, leaving very little time for a social life or family time. It has become such a problem that the South Korean government has had to step in. In 2018, they got the ball rolling on labour reforms to stop people from overworking themselves. And if you thought companies and employees could work as many hours as they wanted to under these new laws, you'd be wrong. The maximum number of working hours in a week was slashed from 68 to 52 for companies with over 300 employees. Any employers violating those laws would face 2 years in prison or a fine of $20,001, the equivalent of almost $18,000. These laws might sound draconian, but they are necessary. Ask any spouse of someone who would work themselves into an early grave. One woman said her husband worked at a food supplier. He'd spend the week travelling into factories owned by the company to oversee production. On Saturdays, he'd be in the main office completing paperwork. Then whenever he was at home, he fielded calls from employees. Any spare time he had was spent sleeping, and he was constantly fatigued. The man was found dead on the floor of his office, and it's believed that he died of being overworked. Comparing South Korea to other OECD countries, they work more hours per week on average than any other country, apart from Germany. Number 1. Jjimjilbang public bathhouses. If there's one thing you need to experience on a trip to South Korea, it's a visit to a public bathhouse, also known as a jjimjilbang. These sex-segregated bathhouses have hot tubs, traditional kiln, saunas, showers, and massage tables. Often, they're situated within buildings with common areas with snack bars, heated floors, lounging exercise rooms, ice rooms, TV rooms, and even sleeping rooms with bunk beds and mats. Basically, if you want to have a relaxing, but also weird day, you'd visit a public bathhouse. Most jjimjilbang public bathhouses in South Korea are open 24/7 and are a popular pastime for families and workers who want to relax after a hard day. You pay an entry fee of between $8,000 to $12,000 and one to enter, which is about $8, and you can sleep there overnight. Wow, okay. I might need to plan a trip to South Korea. That's so much cheaper than staying in a hotel. While you're there, You may as well treat yourself to a few snacks. Some of the most popular options at these bathhouses are icy key, which is a sweet rice beverage, iced coffee, baked eggs, which are slow cooked in a sauna, and mee guk guk, a seaweed soup with a mussel-based broth. Half of this stuff I would have never even guessed. Did you know that you could eat live octopus in South Korea? Or that there could be so many themed cafes in one place? Well, now you're a little bit more knowledgeable, at least about South Korea. Would you ever visit South Korea? What about North Korea? Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on screen right now. See you next time.